Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today. YouTube TV makes multi-view so much better and more useful. We'll tell you what's happening with that. Cable TV revenues are expected to plummet over the next few years, and most cord cutters say they would never go back to cable TV, even if it was cheaper. We'll tell you why and more here in a minute. If you are new here, you can check out all these stories in the pinned first comment and the show notes down below. I'll put a link to each story there so you can read them for yourself. If you are new, also consider hitting that subscribe button or hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. So YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us support our families, and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of television and still watch the shows you enjoy. With that said, let's dive into it. YouTube TV has confirmed to Cord Cutters News that you will now be able to customize your multi-view experience, picking the games you want within reason. So one of the greatest and worst features of YouTube TV is this multi-view, the ability to watch 4 games on a single screen at once. The downside is you couldn't pick which games were in each window. It would just create groups of it, which was annoying. I've long said, for example, during football and basketball season for college, they should, if it's a Big Ten day, have 4 Big Ten games all on the same screen. If you're a Big Ten fan, maybe you want to keep touching all the games. You couldn't do that. Sometimes one game would be in 4 different multi-views with 4 different options, while another game only had 1 multi-view option, for example. Well, now they'll be able to let you pick from a list of games and be able to customize your screen. So here's a bunch of NBA games, pick the 4 here you want, and they'll be in the screen. That is really awesome. Still not to the point where you could pick which channels you wanted. You couldn't say I want 3 sports channels and a news channel, for example. If I want to keep an eye on the news as I watch 3 different football games, or 2 football games and 2 news channels, for example. Not an option, unfortunately. But it's a step in the right direction. Google says this is rolling out right now. Currently, I've heard about on Apple TV. They say all devices that will support multi-view will have this option in the future. Fubo does this where you can pick any channel, but only on the Apple TV right now. So this is a cool feature that YouTube TV is doing. But no word on exactly when it will hit all users. They say it's slowly rolling out. Keep that in mind. All right, next story up. Cable TV revenues are expected to shrink by $30 billion by 2027. Sounds very far away, but that's just a few years down the road with that. According to this report there, through Price Waterhouse something or other. I apologize, I butchered that. They say revenue from ads and subscriptions will drop by $30 billion with this. That's huge. That is not just the number of people canceling, but the lower ad revenue they'll bring because fewer people are watching them with it. The question is, what point will this just become unsustainable for many companies out there? We're already seeing smaller companies shut down their TV services, be bought out, merge, and do different things. But how many companies out there will be willing to continue? If you're a cable TV company and you know the industry you are in is going to shrink by about $30 billion over the next 3 years, that's got to be very scary. I don't care what you try to spin that with. That's just got to be scary. So keep a close eye on this. So let me know, are you still a cable TV customer? Do you plan to cancel? I suspect that we'll see this rapidly grow. Comcast lost 2 million TV customers in 2023. It's probably going to continue in 2024. Speaking of which, would cord cutters go back to cable TV even if cable TV became cheaper? Now we see these stories all the time, and I still argue cable TV is dramatically more expensive for 2 reasons. Every time streaming gets a price hike, so does cable. Yes, some streaming services last year went up. Spectrum went up in price twice. DirecTV went up in price twice. Comcast already raised its price this year. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. You know, if cable TV goes up $10 and streaming goes up $10, you're still saving the same amount of money as you would if you were with cable. But according to our readers, even in theory, if it would become cheaper, they say in the vast majority of them would not go back to cable TV. A lot of them doubted it would ever be cheaper, but they kind of said the same thing I've always said. Most of the best television on TV right now is not on cable. All the Star Wars, Marvel shows and more are on Disney+. Paramount Plus has the new Star Trek shows and other ones in production right now. So going back to cable TV is not going to give you what you want. Some NFL games were streaming exclusive this year on Amazon and Peacock. You couldn't get those by going to the cable TV. You would still need streaming with it, and I think that's a big reason why people are not jumping back to cable TV. Let me know what you think. Would you jump back to cable TV if it was a deal for you? Or is there just so much content you watch outside of cable TV that wouldn't be able to give you what you want? All right, deal of the day. If you're looking for a cheap streaming player, the Fire TV Stick 4K is on sale for $34.99. And you get 6 months of free MGM Plus streaming with that. This is a limited time deal, down from the $49.99 list price, so about $15 off. Link in the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment if you're looking for this deal. All right, the parent company of Redbox and Fuel TV. The parent company of Redbox is Chicken Soup for the Soul. They have partnered together to launch a free live TV service, or channel, I should say, and a paid on-demand streaming service. With this, Fuel TV, which has over 600 hours of programming, new programming every year, in addition to the 250 hours of live events and 300 hours of exclusive content, and things like skateboarding, BMX, skiing, and more, will bring that to the Redbox and other services, and they will launch in partnership a paid on-demand content service to give you a bunch of extreme sports content for a monthly fee. No word on the exact launch date. They're just announcing this stuff is coming. It's great to see Fuel TV, which is available on many streaming paid services, is going to bring some of their content, probably older content, free to free ad-supported streaming services. So if you're a fan of that kind of content, great news. It's coming there. All right, Netflix has announced they do not plan to launch an app on Apple's Vision Pro headsets because it would be subscale. Basically, we don't believe we'll be able to deliver a high enough quality experience. A lot of people pointed out you'd probably just be able to use the browser to watch it through there, but not have a dedicated app for it. But Amazon's new Vision Pro headsets, Apple's, I apologize. I'm sorry, is coming out, and while it does have support for many streaming apps, there are still many that it does not. Speaking of free ad-supported content we talked about a minute ago, a new study says that free ad-supported services are catching the attention of viewers better than traditional television. These are services like Pluto TV, Tubi, Freevee, the Roku channel, and others now allows you to watch a ton of content out there for free. Now, according to this data, the majority of people pay more attention to the ads and content on free services than traditional linear content. I want to hear from you. Are you more likely to pay to channel surf if you're watching traditional cable TV during commercials versus a free service like Pluto TV, Tubi, Freevee, and others? That's my question of the day to you. Do you watch these services? Be honest, I do watch them, and I don't really channel surf. I usually plug into one thing. Recently, it's been the Price is Right Bob Barker era years, the classic ones I grew up with. But usually I put it on and I'm watching TV as I do other things, and I'm not channel surfing. But if I'm watching sports on YouTube TV or Hulu or Fubo and a commercial comes on, I'm usually jumping to see what's on another channel for another game. So I want to hear from you. Is that your habit or not? Leave me a comment, let me know. All right, question of the day. Every day I try to answer some questions. I need questions from you. If you have a question, leave me a comment down below. Start it off with something like a question for Luke, so I know it's something you want me to answer, and I will do my best to answer them. If you're new here, you can just leave them in the comments. If I didn't answer your question, re-ask it, and I'll do my best to answer it again down below. All right, today's question is from John. It says, Luke, I know because of lobbyists, despite how much the American people wish that retransmission fees were outlawed, they will never be. But just hypothetical sake, what if local TV channels could not get cable TV companies to pay for their content? They had to give it for free like they used to back in the 90s and like they do with an antenna. So that's a great question. Could we go back to a model where broadcast television is free, whether you stream it, watch it on cable, or get it with an antenna? And sure, we could. What would happen? Probably a massive collapse of the broadcast local ABC, NBC market affiliates. The vast majority of their revenue comes from cable TV fees. If you remove that, they're going to have to either dramatically downsize things like local news and other news content, but also local programming, local and television programs with it. It is expensive, and ad revenue is not going to right now replace cable TV fees. It's just where we are. That's just the reality of it. It's just not going to be replacing all that. So that's the current situation we're in. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Do Do you think they should? Do you understand that, hey, we want ABC, NBC to be successful, we're willing to pay for it? I think they should have to give a paid streaming version of their shows. I understand they don't want to do that because that would upset cable TV companies, and cable TV companies won't be willing to pay them as much. And even with the shrinking cable market, the vast majority of their money comes from retransmission fees at this time. Well, that's it for today. I appreciate your support. Thank you to everybody who watches our shows every day. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. We'll really appreciate it. I'll be back again real soon with another video.